Good evening and welcome. I'd like to call to order the February 11th, 2019 Old Bridge Township Council meeting. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silence and for our prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As customary in this chamber, we stand for a moment of silence to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, for our first responders, and for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. A moment of silence, please. Mr. Pescitti, our prayer.
Dear Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve you in this chamber. Give them quiet minds and hearts that they may hear your voice. Help them to know you, when to speak, when to be silent. Give them strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right. And grant that they have a good conscience and soul at peace with you and with one another. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Good evening, everyone. Mayor Henry, I believe you'd like to start. Okay, sure. Yep, you got it.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the newspaper, and notice of the meeting has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the council will be held on Monday, February 25th, 2019, at 7:30 p.m. Mrs. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Cahill?
Here.
And Dr. Greenberg? Here. Mr. Merwin?
Here.
Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Mr. Pescitti?
Here.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Here.
Mrs. Walker?
Here.
President Sohar?
Here.
9 present.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Mayor Henry, are you ready?
Thank you, Council. I'm going to go out into the audience. I have something I want to let the public know, and also the council and members of our audience that are here tonight. And it's not like let's make a deal or anything like that. We're going to go out there. So I'm going out into the audience. As everyone knows, a few months ago, we lost Ann Miller. Ann was a staple in our town. She was a pillar of our community. And one thing she did do was come to every council meeting. I don't ever remember having a council meeting where she was not here. And her comments were kept till the end of the meeting. So Ann was a perfect resident to come to the council meeting. She was just, and this is where she sat most of the time. So we've put a nice plaque on this chair in memory of Ann Miller, and the quote was that you will always be here with us. And I think it's a calming effect to know that she is here. I'm sure she's looking down at this meeting. So I just want to let the council know that we said, we did what we said we were going to do for Ann Miller. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, council.
Okay. So, Mayor, you'll begin with your presentations this evening.
Good evening, everyone. It's always an honor and a privilege to stand here as mayor and hire police officers, but also, if not more important, is to take existing officers and promote them to the next step in their career. Tonight, I, along with Chief Volkert, have the pleasure of promoting 2 outstanding officers within the Old Bridge Police Department. These officers have dedicated their careers to public safety of our residents and our community. Their commitment and dedication to public safety is a tribute to their profession. It is my pleasure to introduce you to them now. First, we're going to do Michael Snee. Before we swear Mike Leonard, I had to read his bio, which is a lot of pages. We're going to be here a while, ladies and gentlemen. Michael C.'s law enforcement career with the Old Bridge Police Department began when he took the oath of office on August 22nd, 1996. Upon becoming a police officer, he attended New Jersey State Police Academy in Seagirt. Prior to coming to Old Bridge, Mike was a corrections officer with the Monmouth County Sheriff's Department. He holds an associate's degree in criminal justice from Brookdale Community College. Mike was promoted to the rank of sergeant in June 2011 and to acting lieutenant on February 1st, 2019. Throughout his career with the Old Bridge Department, Mike has amassed a long list of credentials. He was transferred from the Patrol Bureau to the Detective Bureau, where he served as a narcotics detective for 4 years. In addition, he was a field training officer, a domestic violence liaison, and domestic violence instructor for the department. In cooperation with the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, Mike served as an investigator with the County Narcotics Task Force. He was also temporarily assigned as an investigator for the New Jersey State Police Street Gangs Unit. Acting Lieutenant Michael Snee was an instructor for the Attorney General's Top Gun facility and for the Undercover Narcotics Investigator Training. He has been an active member of the Police Department's Motor Officers Unit since 2011. Mike has received the Department's Award of Excellence, Merit Award, Unit Citation, and the State of New Jersey General Assembly Citation for his outstanding police work. He has been recognized for his service through the many letters of appreciation, commending his actions in providing assistance to the public and the residents of our community. I am certain that Mike's professional dedication and commitment to public service will continue to be an asset to the Old Bridge Police Department with his promotion this evening. Assisting us in honoring Mike tonight are his wife, Jennifer. Come on up. His daughter, Lauren, and his son, Colin. It is my pleasure to promote Acting Lieutenant Michael Snee to the rank of Lieutenant.
Okay, sir. Your turn. I, in your name,
I, Michael Snee,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution
That I
of
will
the
sup-
United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments
to the same and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of lieutenant
all the duties of the office of lieutenant,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next joining me is Frank Cotrera. Frank Cotrera was sworn in as a patrol officer with the Old Bridge Police Department on January 19, 2001. He was promoted to the rank of acting sergeant on February 1st, 2019. From the onset of his law enforcement career, Frank has been recognized for his many achievements. International Association of Chiefs of Police has certified Frank as a drug recognition expert for the past 4 years. He is also certified with the department as an emergency medical dispatcher, as well as a traffic radar operator. In addition, for the past 8 years, Frank has served as a field training officer, guiding and instructing officers who are new members to the department. The Township's elementary school students have benefited from the knowledge and instruction provided by him as their DARE lead officer. Frank has served as an instructor with the program for 10 years. Just a side note, Frank and I attended a graduation today at McDivitt School from the lead DARE program. He has received numerous letters of appreciation commending his actions in assisting the public in their time of need. He is also the recipient of the department's Life Saving Award, Unit Citation, and the State of New Jersey General Assembly Citation. Frank has received the honor of being recognized by MAD for the most amount of drunk driving arrests he has made. Frank's dedication to serving the public and the community of Old Bridge is an indication of his commitment to his profession. The promotion tonight of Frank Cotrera to the rank of sergeant is well-deserved. Celebrating Frank's promotion with him tonight are his wife, Crystal, his sons Robert and Frank, fellow train collectors, and his daughter Gracie. It is my honor at this time to promote Acting Sergeant Frank Cotrera to the rank of sergeant.
I, your name, you could just repeat.
I, Frank Cotrera,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the same and to the governments
to the same in the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
that will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of sergeant
all the duties of the office of sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Again, thank everyone, especially guys from the department. Thank you for coming out tonight. It means a lot to your future bosses that that you're here, and it means a lot to the community to see you here in such numbers. So again, thank you everyone for coming out and witnessing these promotions to Old Bridge's finest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Henry. Congratulations to both of you, very, very well deserved. We're going to take a 2-minute break here to let people leave if they like before we go into the body of the meeting. So if you'd like to stay, you're more than welcome to, but I'm sure a lot of the little ones, it's time for home. So thank you very much and congratulations again. We'd like to resume the meeting now. If everyone would like to have a seat that's staying, please. And if not, thank you so much for coming again. And you have a good evening, okay? Thank you. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Everybody's here? All right, we're going to begin the body of the meeting. First will be council appointments. The first one is Ethics Board. Clergy member, Reverend James W. Hagerman, St. Bernadette's Church, unexpired term, 12/31/2019.
I'll move it. Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg? Yes. Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Recreation Advisory Board vacancy, unexpired term, 12/31/2019.
Nanette Gallagher, I nominate Nanette Gallagher.
Second.
Dr. Greenberg Belli, second Mrs. Walker.
Okay. Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Recreation Advisory Board vacancy, unexpired term, 12/31/2019. Do I have a nomination? Okay. Next will be Zoning Board, alternate number 1, unexpired term 12/31/2021.
I nominate Carol Brannigan.
Second.
Dr. Greenberg. Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin? Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Approval of minutes of previous meetings. Reorganization meeting, January 7th, 2019.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Greenberg, Belli. Mrs. Walker, second.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Why, guys, can we keep it down that end? It's all background noise. Executive session, January 7th, 2019.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Due to my affiliation with Lawrence Harbor First Aid and my past affiliation with OB Thames, I will abstain.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
8 yes, 1 abstention.
Bill listing, Mrs. Walker.
Bill is February 11, 2019. Accounts payable, February 11, 2019, $11,826,294.02.
Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Rizzoli.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Payroll, February 1st, 2019, $964,017.08.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Moved by Mr. Murphy, second by Mr. Rizzoli.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Payroll overtime, February 1st, 2019, $33,441.92.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Second. Oh.
Moved by Mr. Rizzoli, second by Mrs. Walker. And can we have a breakout, Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Council President, thank you. As Councilwoman Walker indicated, the total overtime for this period was $33,441.92. There was an uptick in Public Works for snow removal on January 18, the snow and ice storm, in the amount of $4,855.28 in Public Works, and in Parks and Recreation, it was $1,129.05. For the Police Department, the sworn officers' total overtime for the period was $20,996.20. There was no grant deduction. Deduction for ETO time was $5,657.48. Net overtime, $15,338.72, representing 295 men and women hours. There were 2 officers injured on duties in this period.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Shaw.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
That concludes the bill list.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Ordinances for second reading. Ordinance 1, number 2019-01, amending Chapter 10, Traffic, Section 10-19-7B of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge, 87 Murray Drive, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, handicapped sign placement.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg, second by Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin? Mr. Murphy? Mr. Pescitti?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Ordinance number 2, 2019-02, rescinding ordinance number 2017-22, amending Chapter 10, Traffic, Section 10.19B of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge, 10 Wendy Drive, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, removal of handicap sign no longer needed.
I'll move it.
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard on this?
The first one.
Yeah, and the first one too, I'm sorry, and the first one too. Anybody? No? Okay, seeing no hands, I'll close the public portion.
Mr. Murphy moved it.
Okay, Mr. Murphy moved it, second by
Second.
Dr. Greenberg? Okay.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Pescitti?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Preliminary public comments to council, subject to the following conditions and restrictions. During the preliminary public portion of the meeting, any person may address the Township Council on any subject matters for a maximum period of 5 minutes. Any such person desiring to speak during the preliminary public portion shall first sign a list maintained by the Township Clerk for such purpose. Comments during the preliminary public comment portion of the meeting shall not encompass second reading ordinances or any other matter for which comment or a public hearing is to occur at the meeting.
Vasilios Marantidis?
Afternoon to everybody.
Okay, good evening. Could you please, thank you. Put your mic on, please?
You have to push the button there, sir.
Yep.
Curious. Before I start making my complaints, gentlemen, just only one I'm gonna ask everybody. Do anybody visit the house on German? Did anybody of you or the audience, they visit the house of the German? The house. Do you remember that, doctor? Yeah. The same thing is my apartment. The same thing is the New Amsterdam village. I'm living for 36 years. If you come to my apartment, nothing is different from the house. No matter how many times I beg them. And I do most of the thing myself. But since they changed the floors 2 years ago, completely the floors, they did not touch at the edge of the building, of the foundations, the beams. There is a space, which and I close them, all of them, but still the smell of the basement looks like the house smells. Look at my eyes, gentlemen. Is that your eyes the same like mine? I'm looking like a Dracula. No matter how nice I talk to them, they don't give. Jenny, the manager, I don't want to see. You want to be the witnesses? I can curse they have. They don't, she doesn't care about. Sunday, the same thing. Every time when I call them, they are busy on the Monday. Next day, they are busy. When it is something to come in my apartment, they never come in my apartment. They go to the next apartment. When they say the inspector, they come, they never come to my apartment. They go to the office. Why? What's the reason they don't come to my apartment first? As he told me, the supervisor, they take them to the restaurants. Is that deal to sacrifice people on the New Amsterdam Village to take them to the restaurant? Shame of them, shame to everybody. Yesterday, Saturday, I make a report. Thank you very, very much. The police, somebody showed up in my apartment. He saw how it smells my apartment. I hope, like 25 years, they didn't come. Today, I see somebody walks to that area, to City Hall, to take the report, which they did 25 years, they take the report away. I hope tomorrow I'm going to find my report, which the police sees how it smells the apartment. 24 hours is there. The fans, they blow outside. I have a double blankets on my bed because I turned the heat down completely, no heat in my apartment. Because if I put the heat on, you know, the mold is increased, the bacteria. Sunrise and sunset, the mold dies, I think. If the sun comes out, no matter you have a little open window, stops, it's not that much. But the sunset, forget about. Worse the how. Few days ago, when I reported, they don't care about. And if you remember the day I was here for cutting the tree, not for me, for the little kids there, they get upset because I know and I believe they charge them, and they don't like that. Whenever I call them, as I told you, they are busy. Monday they are busy, Friday is a paid day off, the rest they are very busy. If I call them, they never ask. She mentions to me, whatever you call, you're going right away. I says, no, always I tell them, whatever you have, excuse me, wherever you have time. It's not emergency, but please, that's the problems I have. I never raise my voice to them. But before I wake, again, which I call early in the morning, because the day before I spoke to Sandra. Sandra, it is a Greek name. Her name is, they call her now Cindy, but it's a Greek name, one of the general of the Alexander the Great, they have that name. I called her, she says, I'm going to send somebody to see. The next day, she was off for, I don't know for what the reason, and I called back, and it was one of the girls who knew works there. We're going to send somebody. They never show up.
Okay.
By 3 o'clock.
Unfortunately, your time is up,
Don't
everyone.
put it this, sweetheart.
Everyone has given 5 minutes. I can't
Can I
extend
come
it.
tomorrow to your office, sweetheart?
Sir,
Sir,
Sir.
point of order, please.
Really,
You
I'm-
have 5 minutes, your 5 minutes
Yeah.
is up, all right?
He mentioned to me to say that.
Your 5 minutes is up, sir.
yeah, we
Okay?
do 5 minutes in the beginning of the
More
meeting.
than welcome to stay to
Right.
the end. We have
Yeah,
another
in the
opportunity
end-
to
At the
speak.
end, we have a public portion as well. So if you want to wait and you want to speak again, that's up to you, that's fine.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
sir?
I will.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Is there anyone else? Okay, so seeing no one else on the list, we'll close the public comments. We'll go now to council comments. Anyone on my left for council member comments? Mr. Rizzoli?
You have a question for administration in regards to the squad. If they no longer can respond, what is our backup plan to have the coverage if the squads no longer can respond?
For
The EMS squads, if they no longer can respond, they have to close because they, as they stated, what is our backup plan in regards to that?
Yes, we'll respond whether additional resources need to be placed in that area, yes. There'll be no lapse in coverage. In fact, probably response times will improve.
Okay, all righty. Anyone else on my left? Anyone on my right? Dr. Greenberg?
Yes, I've been asked by many residents that they would like to have the MUA meetings televised, and I don't know whether that's an option, but if we can get that done, I think it would be valuable, because a lot of times, as you hear, people come up to the council, and they have a lot of questions about the MUA, and I think it will bring better understanding if those meetings are televised. Thank you, so I appreciate
Yes,
you
we'll
considering.
look in and get it set up. We'll have to coordinate with MUA, obviously, and the locations, in this meeting room to make sure that it doesn't conflict with the court session, but somehow we'll make, those possible.
Anyone else? Mrs. Walker?
Oh, yes. I've received several phone calls and emails from residents concerned about the closing of Cheesequake School because they think the township is closing the school. I just want everyone to know it is not the municipality that's considering closing the school. It's the Board of Ed. It's a separate entity than us. And if you have any concerns, they're having two meetings, February 12th and February 19th, at the high school, and that's where you should go to address your concerns, but the township is not closing Cheesequake School. I just want you to know.
Okay, anyone else on my left? Mrs. Brown?
Yeah, I actually was going to speak on that as well, Cheesequake School. I've had parents call me, and they're really concerned about the school closing, but I just want to reiterate that we, in fact, are different entities. The school board and the town council are completely different. Their fiscal decisions are completely different from the ones we make. Of course, I will keep myself available. If someone calls me, I'm perfectly happy to answer their questions, but I just want everyone to keep that in mind. The other thing is, starting 2019, I want us to do something to start off fresh and new. I was going to make this comment at the end, but I'll just say it now. I would really like to just kind of get some of the council members here together, and we can talk about some new ideas and some things we can do to move forward. Hopefully, kind of putting together some, nonpartisan projects where we can move forward with the town, get some progression done here, because I know as of late we probably have a reputation of just arguing up here, but I think we can work together going forward. So I'd suggest a couple of people. I know offhand, I think Brian Cahill and Piscetti would be really great, but if anyone else would want to join, that'd be good, and we can just have some discussions offline about how we can move certain projects forward for our town. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else for comments on this side of the dais? No? Anyone else? Mr. Rizzoli, and then I'm going to wrap up the comments.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I think it's unfortunate that our school aid was cut. I think it's time that the whole system needs to be reevaluated, and we definitely need to address this Abbott district. A lot of these towns are taking advantage of the fact that they're, basically they're giving out these tax pilots on everyone else's backs. It allows them basically the Abbott district allows them to use these tax pilots to build up their own economy while other towns get hurt like ours. And I think it's unfortunate, and at some point, the Abbott district's situation is going to have to be addressed. I mean, if you look at the list, towns like Hoboken, Jersey City, and you can go on and on, there's no reason why they should be Abbott districts. They should be able to maintain their own schools without everyone else having to send money their way. Thank you.
Sorry, I have to make one more comment.
All right, one more, and that's
Okay.
it, because we really want to move on. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So there is a common misconception that a lot of the money that would be taken from Old Bridge is actually going to Abbott districts or urban districts, and there's a lot of information that shows it's actually not. It's actually going to rural areas, mostly, to be honest with you. Old Bridge was getting over $100 million a year, I believe, which was in excess. So what's happening now is the state is trying to balance the funding that was going to all the schools. So I just want to make that clear, because it is really a common misconception, I think, in this town, and I think people kind of need to read a little bit more about it and see what's going on. I won't go into much more detail, but I know if people call the superintendent, maybe of the county, or even talk to people in the state, they'll get to some more education on that, because while I do feel it's unfortunate that we might have to close a school, again, I have nothing to do with that decision. I think the mayor and the administration, are feeling upset about this too. I think everyone is. We want to make sure that there's the correct information out there. So again, it's a challenging time for everyone. I know that people here want the money to be here. They don't want a school to close. But let's just do our best to really thoroughly educate ourselves about where the money's actually going. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll close the council comments. not to be repetitive, but I do agree with Dr. Greenberg about televising the MUA meetings. That is a board where a lot of the residents come here to, have their concerns addressed or feel they're going to have them addressed here. And it really is not the venue. So if they do this and they have it televised, they can watch it, they can go, they can see what's going on. And I think it would do a lot to let them feel like they were engaged with what goes on with their water in the MUA. As far as the schools are concerned, it is an issue for the Board of Education and the superintendent. So I would strongly suggest that you email the board members and let them know your feelings, your concerns, and ask them, to let you know what their plan is as far as how they're going to move forward with this whole issue of Cheesequake School. I don't want to speak for them at all because really we have nothing to do with that portion of it. So I don't want to, say anything one way or the other. I think that they have to answer as far as what they're going to do. Also, as far as new projects are concerned, I do appreciate the fact that that there is a wanting to do things, but I must disagree as far as moving forward because I think there have been many initiatives that we've accomplished over the last years, and I do, from the Chamber of Commerce, the Business Alliance, the Clean Communities programs. There have been so many things that have been done as improvements, but we can always build on that. So that would be great. We continue the progress that we've made, and I'm more than willing to work with anyone, to get things done. But as I said, we have accomplished a long list of things. So thank you very much. Clerk?
None at this time.
Okay, thank you. Report of the Township Attorney.
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Where is the administrative report, please. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Council President, thank you. The administrative report for February 11, 2019.
Yeah.
Item 1,
Yep.
2019 municipal budget. The 2019 municipal budget is scheduled for introduction at tonight's council meeting. The total general appropriation for 2019, including municipal library purpose, is $57,407,538 compared to $55,890,349 in 2018 as modified. The proposed tax rate for both municipal and municipal library purpose for 2019 is estimated to be $1.056, which reflects a zero tax rate increase over 2018 of 1.056. For an average home in Old Bridge assessed at $154,165, the proposed municipal and municipal library tax would have no increase. The Township Council has tentatively scheduled council budget subcommittee meetings for February 20, 2019, February 27, 2019, and March 5, 2019. All of those meetings will be at 7 p.m. to review the proposed budget in more detail. A formal presentation and public hearing on municipal budget are scheduled for March 25, 2019 council meeting. Item number 2, proposed 2019 capital bond ordinance for general improvements. The proposed 2019 capital bond ordinance for general improvements in total amount of $6,085,000 is also scheduled for introduction at tonight's council meeting. A formal presentation and public hearing on 2019 capital budget is scheduled for March 25, 2019 council meeting. And council member, the list of the streets were emailed to you, and a project list was left on a day as per you. Item number 3, 2019 cap index ordinance. The proposed cap bank ordinance is scheduled for introduction at Monday night's council meeting. The ordinance authorizes the township to bank the difference between the final budget appropriation subject to cap and the cost of living adjustment when the difference is not appropriated as a part of the final budget. It is important to note that the proposed budget schedule for introduction is $700,711.65 below the state mandated cap base of $44,878,918.65. The purpose of this ordinance to allow township to carry the cap balance for up to 2 years in accordance with the state statute, providing some level of flexibility for the township should local or state economic condition changes. Item number 4, Lincoln's birthday and President's Day holidays. On Tuesday, February 12, 2019, which is tomorrow, and Monday, February 18, 2019, all municipal offices will be closed for business in observance of the Lincoln's birthday and President's Day holidays, respectively. Item number 5, 2019 Spring Recreation Program Brochure. The 2019 Spring Recreation Program Brochure is now available and includes another exciting lineup of classes, programs, events for residents of all ages. Online registration begins on February 13, 2019. For additional information, residents should contact the Department of Parks and Recreation at 732-721-5600, extension 4999, or visit the township website at oldbridge.com/recreation. Item number 6, food bank donation being accepted at the recycling center. The Old Bridge Township Recycling Center is now accepting food donation for the Old Bridge Food Bank. In efforts to increase donation to local food bank, residents are encouraged to drop off donation at recycling center during their recycling trip. Non-perishable food item can be dropped off at recycling during regular business hours, which are Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please visit Township Recycling website or the Old Bridge Food Bank website at www.oldbridge.com for more information on items needed at the food bank. Item number 7, preparations are underway for Old Bridge Township 150th anniversary. 2019 marks the 150th anniversary of Township of Old Bridge, formerly known as Madison Township. We'll be kicking off our year-long celebration in March. Our 150th anniversary committee is hard at work planning ceremony and events for our residents. The committee will make a presentation at March 11th council meeting on all their plans for this year's celebration, so please stay tuned for more information. We hope that you all will help us celebrate Old Bridge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shaw.
Council President, can I just add one more item
Sure.
to that? I apologize.
No.
As you know, Council President, last week we had a structure fire in Foxborough.
Yes.
Went to 4 alarms, which resulted in a massive response. So I just want to publicly and personally thank all the agencies that participated in that event. And I have to start with dispatch, which coordinated the event. A large number of police officers were on scene to maintain traffic. As everyone knows with that development, the houses are very close together and the roads are very small. Fire, obviously, our local fire departments and also our surrounding communities came to our aid that day. And I tried to count the number of firemen that were on scene, and I couldn't. And I tried to count the pieces of equipment that were on scene, and I couldn't count because of the massive response that was there. EMS was there in numbers. County came to assist us. Code enforcement was on scene. And because of the efforts, of all the first responders that took place that day, which could have been a disaster, it really could have been a disaster. Property damage was limited, and in my opinion, lives were saved. Unfortunately, we had a firefighter suffer foot injury, and we certainly appreciate his efforts. He was on the front line at the time, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And I just say, thank you for everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you all. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the administrative report? Mr. Piscitty.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge the administration deserves a congratulations for holding the line on costs to run the municipal government. No tax increase this year for our municipal government. That's kudos to your team, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Shaw. Thank you very much.
Anyone else with questions?
I have one more thing.
Oh, okay, go.
I'll just save it for my comments. Okay, never mind.
Okay, you sure? Okay. Anyone else for comments on the administrative report? Seeing no hands, we'll do a roll call.
I'll move it.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Okay.
Yes.
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 Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli? Mrs.
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
And President Soha?
Yes.
9 yes.
Next will be our consent agenda. I will ask for a motion and a second. I'll bring it out to the public and then bring it back for separation.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by,
Mr. Merwin.
second by Mr. Piscitty.
Separations?
You're going to bring it out to the public first, so
Oh,
just I need
okay.
a motion and a second.
Okay, you got it.
All right, so anyone from the public wish to be heard on any consent agenda items? Seeing no hands, I will close the public and ask for anyone on council for separations. Okay, seeing no hands.
Balance. Move the balance.
Yes.
Okay. You did a second? Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Cahill,
right,
Mr.
Mr. Cahill,
Rizzoli.
Mr. Rizzoli.
Okay. Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes, just so the public knows that we're getting like $250,000 in grants. Good.
Council member, just the safe and secure grants, the total amount auto approved in the budget is going to be 250 at 236. The grant receipts, it's $60,000.
Right.
Yeah. They allow us to match in excess of the grant.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
9 yes.
You skipped me, yes.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Murphy.
Oh. Okay, so Mr. Murphy, you're now recorded as well. Ordinances for first reading, there are none. Next will be budget introduction. One is the 2019 budget introduction.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
9 yes.
Next is authorizing the 2019 budget to be read by title only at the public hearing.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg, Belli, second by Mr. Piscitty.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg? Yes. Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
9 yes.
Discussion ordinances. DO1, ordinance to establish the municipal budget appropriations limits and a cap bank, NJSA 40A 4-4514, for the calendar year 2019.
Move it.
Second.
Merwin moved it, second by,
Motion.
yeah, I got it.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes, Dr. Greenberg.
No.
Discussion.
Excuse me, this was
Yeah,
for
just
discussion ordinance?
on, yeah, we're
So-
moving it to first.
Move it,
reading.
I'd move it up for first.
For first reading?
Right, that's, yeah, okay.
And then you'll take a first reading.
Okay.
All right, so you moved it up for first reading, Mrs.,
Yes.
okay, Dr. Belli seconded, all right.
Okay, for first reading, Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
9 yes.
Now, we're going to move it up to first reading?
It was just
I
moved
mean,
first
we're
reading.
gonna-
We did for first
Okay.
reading.
Yeah, you voted to take it from discussion to first reading. That was approved. Now you have to approve on first reading.
Right, that's what I'm,
I'll move it for first reading.
Second.
okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg, second by Mrs. Walker.
Who was the second?
Mrs. Walker.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
9 yes.
Next is discussion 2, bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $6,085,000 for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Old Bridge in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $5,780,000 bonds or notes of the township for financing part of the appropriation.
Move it for first reading.
First reading.
Okay,
Merwin. And,
okay?
okay. Mrs. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Cahill,
Yes.
and Dr. Greenberg.
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Pescetti? Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
Nine yes.
Now we need to take a vote on the first reading.
Move it. Second.
Mr. Cahill?
Who was the second?
Mr. Merwin? Mr. Merwin?
Cahill and Merwin.
Yes, that's what I told her.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes.
And Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Pescetti?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Soho?
Yes.
Nine yes.
Question, we won't see that now until March 25th for second reading?
That's correct. The bond ordinance we'll have a presentation on the bond ordinance and then, public hearing at the same time.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Next is public comments on any subject matter. Anyone in the public wish to be heard? Good evening.
Good evening. Is this on?
It should
Brian
be.
Murphy, South Amboy, New Jersey. I just have a public service announcement, since you guys brought up earlier about the Board of Ed. I know this is a Board of Ed thing, but Councilwoman Walker, you mentioned a Board of Ed meeting tomorrow night. If people aren't aware, Old Bridge Public Schools are closed tomorrow. That meeting you mentioned tomorrow night, just to make people aware, is still on pending weather. I just wanted to make people aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else from the public wish to be heard at this time? Yeah, you could come, I'm sorry. Yeah, when you speak. I know, I remember.
Just only repeat what I said before, 2 words. And I don't want nobody of you to feel any sympathy for me. But I will offer you. Instead to visit the German, it is not. Instead to visit the Dachau, I will pay somebody $500 to come in my place, which it is the same thing. Instead to spend $500 the ticket to fly to the German, welcome to my place, and I will pay you. I don't have anything to ask. The only which I beg you, everybody, to ask you, to anybody of us who going to take a piece of atom to the universe, don't let the poor people down. Please think about life. It's like sunrise and sunset. Forget the money. Every year they increase the everything. Donation here, donation here. The township, I beg you, do not accept any donation from nobody, because you make it miserable the life somebody else, because that money they're going to cover from somewhere else. I beg you as a human. I need, my life, it is not more than 2 years. My economy is not more than 2 years. It's going, I know what it's going to do, I'm going to do to myself. But my 2 years, which I'm going to fight before I leave that planet, to leave something. I lost my sister. And I want to fight for the cancer, which and I have the results of the cancer. The FDA, the St. Peter Hospital, which I visit them, they say before in 20 years it's going to be your theory, now they done it down to the 12 years. In the 20 to the 12 years. Why they do that? Why they people to let suffer from the cancer, the worst things, which it is the cancer? And I ask you, doctor, you are doctor. Could you tell me when somebody, it is on the seconds when he leaves that planet, raise the hand over the, even on the bed, why they raise the hand? What they asking? They asking the relatives, the mother or the father or the creator? Why they raise that hand? Why? Why the thing last moment when we came to the finish, we asked, leave also a notice to apologize, to forgive us. We did so many mistakes. And forgive us, as before the manager of which she passed away, and I was to the funeral, she wrote a letter. And she said, I did so many mistakes, and I punched so many people. Please, I ask them to forgive me. Why we ask the last minute to forgive? I don't have nothing else. Come, if somebody wants to see the truth, don't let that New Amsterdam village to do whatever they do. For them, it's they build $1.5 million building there. It's beautiful. They make it beautiful on the side, on the other side. They put nice bricks down to confuse the people. Why they don't walk behind? What's going on? Many times, 36 years I am, only 4 years I had peace. Only 4 years. The rest, I sacrificed there. I didn't go there to live, but some other, my own people, they crucify me. And it's all right. And you lady, I need your telephone again. Because
Yes.
I forgot to take
Absolutely.
your phone. And
Yeah.
doctor, I need your telephone. I put it somewhere, believe me, I didn't find a peace, a moment to concentrate, to come to talk to you. And I don't want something to complain for complaints. Please, to everybody, think about, we don't have, it's a sun, our life is sunrise and sunset. Think about 20 years ago. They passed so fast. I'm 78 years old, and I think every night I dream in the past. It's like yesterday. Please, whatever decision you do, before you spill it, put your tongue to your mind. Think about, and then write it down or spill it to the things. I beg you guys. The life is never ended. The life is never ended. I can prove it to the world.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Okay. Now we'll have council member comments. Anyone on my left for a comment? Mrs. Brown?
Okay. I just want to reiterate in terms of what I was saying earlier about moving forward. I completely and thoroughly acknowledge that council who was here the previous term did a lot of work that I was not a part of, so I just want to make that clear. I think my motive is just, or my intention rather, is for us to work, I think, more succinctly together as a council with the group we have up here now, which may have been challenging, so I just, moving forward to 2019, I certainly didn't expect what happened in 2018, but I would like in 2019 and going forward for us to work better together. So, and some of my ideas are just around like business development, hopefully getting more people in town jobs, things of that nature. So that's why I would like us to work on that together and hopefully have a more unified council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else on this side of the dais wish to be heard? Mr. Merwin?
The senior building, did you just go out to bid, or?
Currently, we have a cleaning from the in-house. We had to remove debris, and we had to have an environmental specialist to handle those things, so that's being done. The bid is out there for demolition, but the inside is getting cleared up now. And once the bid is awarded by council, then we'll proceed with the demolition. And also, the developers that had presented has been working with our engineering staff for a while now, has a plan that will be, he'll be in front of the redevelopment agency for, appointed as a redevelopers, and then we'll move forward. And certainly, I'll reach out to you about, and provide you the information that need.
We had to secure a third party.
Yeah. We had to secure the third-party contractor to handle those tasks.
And the lighting that I reported at the last meeting with Jersey Central.
Well,
You
that
had gotten it, I know you got in touch with them.
right.
They came out and they corrected a few lights. We still have 13 street lights out on Highway 35. We still have sporadic lights out throughout the town. They're not the most prompt things in replacing the street lighting. And we pay a lot of money. And the parking lot lights that we pay a lot of money for are not being repaired. We have 11 lights out at the Lawrence Harbor beachfront. Matter of fact, if we took those and got those 11 lights working, we probably wouldn't even need to spend the $35,000 in that bond ordinance to fix the four that, the old 4 lights that are there. But it's just not there. It's Memorial School, Cooper School, St. Lawrence Church. These are lights that the township pays for, and they're not being addressed. They were addressed by Jim. I saw Jim here tonight. I spoke to him. His predecessor said they weren't supporting him. So these lights have been out for 2 years, and we've been paying for 2 years. So I think it's something that we really need to get on top of them about.
Certainly, and I'm not going to comment of their response, although in an emergency situation, they have been responsive to us, which is, but I agree with you that the lights are out, they should be repaired. I don't think there is any monitoring by a utility company, and we don't control them, BPU does, so, we have really limited control over them, but we'll certainly talk to Jim again and see if there's they can expedite the replacement of lights.
Well, maybe we should start deducting certain payments from that electric bill. These lights have been out for 2 years.
I don't think that's gonna work for us without BPU authorization, because they are saying, all those controls are with the BPU. But we'll follow up with the representative.
Anyone else on this side of the dais? Am I right? Mr. Piscitty?
Yeah, I went over the budget, and I didn't find in there any appropriation for the renaming of the library. How are you handling that? Was it in it? Did I miss it? Yeah, we're going to name the library after Art Haney. Remember we voted on that?
I think it requires a separate budget, and in part of our celebration of public events, those things can be handled. I just have to, I have to find out what the cost associated with the program, but I don't think that it's, it's going to require much money that we can handle under our celebration of public events.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to thank the mayor and the administration and our workers for all the work they put into the budget and our 0 tax increase. I'm very proud of that. I mean, 7 years ago, the town was a mess. We're actually put money away for capital now. Roads are getting paved, curbs are being fixed, and I just want to thank you all for the hard work. And I just want to comment that we do have someone that heads our economic development, and they're in charge of bringing business into town. It's not the council's job to bring business to town.
Anyone else on this side?
Yes, I'd like to just wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day and just say it's good to love and be loved. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? We're all good? Okay, so seeing no other hands for comments, I'll just wish everybody also a nice holiday, and please be safe tomorrow. From what they're saying, the weather is going to be very inclement, so everyone just be safe. Now I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Second.
Wow, this is
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg? Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Burwood?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy? Mr. Cascadi? Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Yes.